Alright, everyone, just a quick forewarning here. There are some cuts in this episode that may seem a little jarring, but it is either for a few reasons, either swearing or we accidentally say each other's names. The swearing, I think, should be obvious. It's YouTube being YouTube, so we'll just leave it at that. And then saying another names is another thing, so we'll just leave it at that. And hope you all enjoy the episode. Please leave your comments and suggestions to improve the series if you enjoy it. Alrighty.
Shut up.
So,
this was partially your idea.
Alright. So, let me go ahead and introduce everyone here. So, we have Knick-Knack. He's the one with the watchception.
Oh god, this is a terrible idea.
And then we have Sekhmet, who is in the Egyptian cat.
Buckle up, Knick-Knack.
And we have Lord Vorn, who is a basic man with a basic profile picture. I don't know if he's I don't know if he's just a bot.
Good.
I don't know if he's just a bot, honestly, but we have him here. Alrighty.
Basic is good. You dragged me into this anyway, so let's buckle up and go.
Alright. We shall. Alright, season 1. We're only covering through the first 12 episodes, so just keep that in mind for everyone watching.
And we will not be covering the OVA as well.
Unless we have time.
Although,
but we'll see.
Yeah, unless we have time.
We're not covering anything we didn't all watch, and believe me, I did not watch more than the 12 episodes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So,
you could not pay me to watch more.
Some spice. Already throwing some shade. But we still have to follow our etiquette. So, would you get the hat, please, Sekhmet? And
well, I think we'll do that at the end.
We're actually gonna wait to do that till the end.
Okay. So then, how are we choosing who goes?
Okay.
Starting the review.
The hat doesn't draw for who's reviewing. That's for the next anime.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is how everything's going to go down. We're going to actually have a start, a middle, and an end. And they're going to be chosen based on episodes of our own choosing. They're not going to be linked onto any sort of arc or anything like that. So basically for Data Live, what's going to actually happen for the start is 1 through 4 is going to be our start. And for our middle section, 5 through 8. And for our, it's going to be 9 through 12. So help us speed along. And now let's start getting into the start section of our review.
Alrighty.
Episode 1, April 10th. Transcription. Shigatsu Toka.
Fantastic.
I figured we should start at the very beginning.
Yes. The very beginning. The very beginning of this thing that somebody put in here. Not calling out names, but...
Oof.
Yes.
Oof, oof.
Yes.
Realm.
Hold on, before we all start. Boo.
Alright, I'll start. I personally like Origami, but that's because I watched the series to completion because I had nothing better to do. In this season, she kind of sucks.
I like Kurumi, but this is because of, well, like later on seasons. So, yeah.
Setting the tone already.
Currently, alright, so I guess we started off with who's best girl. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna go... So, for me anyway, so far anyway, it has been actually Toka, mainly because she's full of fluff. She's full of fluff.
So,
yes.
My waifu was the end credits of episode 12.
Oof.
Oh, jeez.
Oof.
Why?
Oof.
There goes Sekhmet.
Well, while I will be entirely objective in reviewing this, that was genuinely my favorite moment of this entire 12-episode ordeal.
Someone's very salty, I can tell.
Yeah, I used the word ordeal. Not experience. Ordeal.
Yeah. All right.
Get to the actual review and get back on topic.
Yeah. All right.
Episode 1 through 4.
All right. So I guess I'll start off with my opinions, at least, because I took some notes here. So I guess that's for like just starting out, just watching the first episode or whatever. The OP like had some okay thing. I wasn't really a fan of the song per se, but it at least introduced all the main cast and everything, and like the side characters that we'd be seeing through it. So
I don't know. Whenever the OP would come on, I always catch that exact moment where they said "dead or alive," just because but it would never be in reference to the OP. I'd always remember that purely from the weird video games.
Well, I mean this game, or not game.
So, as of first episode, I'm pretty much the only person who watched the first episode in a group, right? The three of you all watched it individually.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm the only one that watched it in a group, and I actually watched the first episode with Nick Knack and Vorn, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because I wasn't there. So.
Yeah. So I can honestly say that my first thought on the entire series was, what in the world? Like, I don't really get it. But I guess the first episode was kind of good at least introducing people. I mean, we meet like 3 people in it, so
well,
4,
on my
5,
notes
whatever.
here, you'll be happy to know my thoughts were not very far off from yours, because there's a giant, massive WTF written in the middle of my notes here.
Yeah, like, it really escalated. It went from like 0 to 150 cringe factor in like 2 minutes.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say like the series, like the first episode escalated quickly. I was gonna say I disagree, because I thought you were saying like in terms of the episode pacing. I was gonna say it doesn't really pick up until after episode 3.
Oh, absolutely.
But in terms of the stuff that happens because why not? Then yes, you would be correct. The cringe factor is huge.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, I am not the target audience for this show in any way, shape, or form.
Oh no, I know you're very lean on the shonen side, but like more so on the One Piece to fairy tale type side.
Yeah, the like pure shonen that you have to sit through like 600 episodes, and this was not that.
MHA, but that's another topic for another time.
Also, just gonna make a quick side note right here. This series, the anime, apparently came out after Full Metal Alchemist, the Brotherhood version, and it still has worse animation.
Okay, but Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
But yes, I will give it credit. I will be nice and say that that Full Metal Alchemist was also done by Studio Bones, which is also like one of the greatest animators in terms of the overall anime production studios. And
I mean,
when I looked up the studio that produced Date Alive, I had only known, like, off the top, or from the list that I looked down, only one of the series, like, ever, like, rang a bell to me, and I want to say it was a visual novel.
Okay, well, I mean...
So the studio... So I'm going to be fair and say that the studio is not very, like... They don't produce a lot of high-profile series.
Okay. But in that vein, Date Alive is not the kind of thing I'd expect to be picked up by a major studio, because it's very niche.
Yes, even after all these years, like, it's been going on as a light novel, not as the anime, it still has not been translated in a proper localization. So
yeah,
it's a very niche series, but apparently popular enough to get 3 seasons and a full movie and an OVA. So there's
yeah, but I mean, I know at least 6 different yaoi light novels that got OVAs that never really picked up steam outside of the fact that they got OVAs just because they were yaoi.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I guess we're getting a bit off topic, so let's get back to the review.
Back on topic, when I first watched this episode, sort of still on topic to that, but moving us back in the right direction, I legit thought this series was a light novel based off the setup. Like it seemed like a dating.
It
sim
was
right now.
very easy to tell just due to like the first episode was just that huge information dump. Now usually first episodes kind of are this, but this was much more larger than
Oh, sorry.
what you're
Sorry.
normally used to.
I made a mistake there. I said light novel. I meant a visual novel, like a
Mm.
dating.
You thought it was based off of a dating visual novel, not an actual light
Yes.
novel. Yeah.
I mean, genuinely, I could see
I
this
think-
as a very successful dating sim game.
Yes, I could as well. There
Just-
might have been a visual novel published. I didn't check that, but there might have been
Yeah.
one or whatever. But,
There have been video games based on this.
yes, but I don't know if any of them were like in a visual novel style. That's what we're saying. But anyways, all right. So I guess moving along a little bit anyway. I'm just gonna say I appreciate Kanazuki, the blonde-haired subordinate to Kotori. He has Dio's voice actor, so that gives me a plus for this series.
Really, because my favorite character right now, if I had to pick one, is Kotori.
Oh, okay. So you're a fan of the sisters here, or for the little sister?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh,
Anyone like? Oh
I didn't
my
mean
god!
I
the
didn't.
premise. The
I mean,
premise.
I didn't
of
mean. I didn't.
incest.
I didn't mean in terms. I didn't mean in terms of the incest part. I meant in terms of the.
Yeah.
I meant in terms of as her character.
Oh no, I don't like
Yeah.
it when she's being like all cute little sister.
You prefer it when
Okay.
she's being the commander. You prefer her
Yes,
commander.
I
Boss
prefer when
lady.
she's being
But, like,
commanding.
one of the first shots when she's a little sister of her, and in the show in general, is an immediate panty shot of her.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, and I can't.
like-
That's
Okay,
just
I'll be
no.
fair to this series. So, as the later episodes go on, it gets less and less toward the to do the panty shots until we get to
Yes, yes.
until we get to Kurumi. But that was mostly just played for laughs, anyways. So,
Well, it's always
I mean, I can
played for
understand that.
laughs.
for most
Like-
part, yeah.
I mean, I get that. As shows go on, often shows that like have to pander a little bit more in the beginning, have to pander less later on, and I appreciate that. But Kotori did remain my favorite character throughout the whole first season, even though I did say the end credits were my favorite character.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, that Shido's like his friend, the loser friend.
Oh yes, he's a man of
Oh.
culture.
Yeah.
He is a man of culture.
I first saw him and I thought he looked like freaking Subaru from ReZero.
Well, I mean, yes.
Oof.
Kind of.
Yes, kind of, but
Different
not very,
personality
not
altogether,
very
but
much.
Same design.
Although I guess you could put him in the same tracksuit and they would look very similar.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But anyways, I guess I did get a little kick out of the at the end of the first episode, the part where they had the little dating sim visual novel, the My Little Shido.
That was actually
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
I do genuinely like that because I like the incorporation of computer and video games into manga in a more interactive way.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah. So, I guess some other things that I didn't really like is that, like, I guess I'll forgive it for this a little bit, but it was still a gripe of mine. Was that I could figure out just like from the beginning what most of the stereotypes were gonna be. The only one I
Yeah.
didn't figure out, like from the OP alone, was what was it? Was Kotori, and actually later on Toka. But for the most part, I was right in all the stereotypes.
Yeah, I can
It
see that.
seems like we're a little bit staying on episode 1 right now, so can we please switch it up
Yes.
to like a little bit later episode right now, because we are taking a little bit too much time on
Well,
this.
okay, we're not taking
Uh-oh,
that
the
much
plots
time.
arrived.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, we can move on. Let's go to episode 2 now. We'll make this one. We'll cover this one a little bit shorter. So
It's at
this
this
one was
point
just
that I thought the
yeah.
series was a gotcha game. Because suddenly, like, you're getting very formulaic in the character introductions and quick character arc, move on to next character. Oh my god.
It's this part in the
Yeah.
series where I genuinely thought to myself, wow, it's like the Stereotype song, but a show.
Yeah. this was literally like you just taking plot and then taking hammer to it and just shaping it on purpose. There's no
No.
other way to make it go.
No. This is the plot is the hammer, and they took it to your head.
Yes, exactly. They're
Oh,
very overt. They don't show and tell. That was something else that was a gripe for the last episode, but it continues throughout the series.
Yeah.
Now the thing is that that's honestly something I kind of expect from some anime these days, or especially older ones, because anime has a much more direct form of storytelling. If you look at stuff like JoJo and whatnot, it's very direct with you. So,
but a lot of the times that's also shonen. It's not this, and this is like what even genre is this? Like I would put this in harem.
I would. It is harem, but I'd put it more also in the shonen category, but not the like One Piece style shonen. This is
really
more,
because it reminds me of shoujo. It actually reminds me a lot of shoujo.
It might. I mean, it has some
because you get a lot of that harem even with like action.
I guess.
Well, I'm getting a lot of like there's like shonen elements, but I'm also getting a lot of ecchi. Some shoujo.
Okay, yeah.
It's kind of a mix of like almost everything. So
obviously,
yeah.
And then if you consider a genre, it has a reverse isekai thing going on.
Yeah.
Hey, and like since we haven't brought her up yet, how about Origami?
Origami was nice. She knows what she wants, and she wants Shido.
That is true.
Someone beat those.
Okay, I'm going to go off topic here and say Origami in the OVA was, well, that was something.
All right, well,
yeah.
There you go. People who have watched the OVA, then you know exactly what Vorn is talking about.
Yep.
All right.
The fact that she like conveniently shows up like, who are you, and then suddenly shows up in like, what was it, like Iron Man armor. That was so
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, her introduction, I mean, I kind of figured that was gonna happen, that she was gonna be a part of like something, obviously,
because character design like that. Obviously.
Yeah, a character design like that, and with that kind of personality, like this is just like a stereotype check. Like, all right, we've got the resident tsundere in Toka, we got the resident kudere in Origami, we have the resident yandere in Kurumi, and we have the resident not masochist. Well, there is one, but that's Kanezuki, and we have the resident sadist in Kotori, at least when she's in commander mode and not little sister mode. And then
But out of all the characters, right, regardless of which one it is, she seems the least developed to me.
Yeah, well,
and the most just straight character.
Realm.
Yes.
Realm, you forgot the most important forgotten waifu archetype that they introduced. The MILF archetype. I guess not technically MILF.
I mean,
she's not a mother or a wife, but she's an older teacher. Yeah.
Knick-knack. Yeah. Go suck on a lemon.
All right. So I mean, I guess you could put. No, I'm gonna put Kurumi in that archetype because she goes ada.
Let's keep moving.
All right, let's continue on. Episode 3. So this is where.
Well, I guess we should go over Princess Toka. Specifically.
Yeah.
She's bland main heroine.
I mean, I like her because she's full of fluff. And
she gets a little bit more to do later, but
she honestly, I'd honestly say that even though she's the tsundere of the series, she leans more on the dere and less on the tsun. So
she annoys me greatly.
I don't really see that much like tsundere in her.
Yeah, it's not much. But she still has some of the stereotypes.
After the first episode, not much at all. I'd say the little sister falls closer to tsundere.
No, like I said, I consider her more to be on the masochistic
side. Outside of the male conversation of who's a what type of waifu, let's move on from that. We do not need to discuss their types anymore.
Fair enough, we have discussed that at length. All right, we can move. All right, we can move along.
But it's so in your face throughout the entire
And I mean, it
series.
is kind of the premise of the series,
Which is
in
the
a sense.
point.
But anyways,
Yeah.
Okay, guys, come on.
anyways, again, we're moving on. So, I guess one thing I didn't really like at the end of this episode 3, just to clarify,
Yeah.
that's what we're on right now, is I didn't like that they didn't explain Shido coming back from the dead until later on.
Yeah.
And they very, like, just... They didn't explain it until very much
Skated
later
over it.
into... Yeah, they kind of skidded over it, and they they only vaguely hinted at that, like, later in the episode, or later in the season anyway, that maybe he has spirit powers, and maybe he's actually a spirit.
He's literally flying, and they're like, nah, nothing's wrong,
okay.
nothing's happening.
Okay, I think that the flying thing, well, yes, it was unexplained. I think that was actually what they did, was they teleported him on the ship, because that is shown something later in the series that can happen, and then they literally teleported him in air and as he was falling towards Toka.
No, here's the thing. What I'm imagining is they just teleported him, and they just pushed him out of the ship rather than just teleport him out.
Maybe. Either way, that seems like a reasonable explanation, because he clearly couldn't fly. He was just falling.
Yeah, that's true.
He
But
was just,
still.
he was just falling.
It's
so...
called falling with style, guys.
Also, my favorite trope in any harem ever, I have to kiss you to save the world.
My favorite.
We must kiss now.
That sounds like a shoujo trope to me, in my opinion. But
Literally, same thing in Teen Titans, the movie. I have to
Yeah.
kiss him, learn the language so I can communicate with everyone.
nice.
Not that I hate that movie. I love that movie. It's just, why the hell is it a kiss?
Well, Laura, you see, because without going into the realm of hentai, the most scandalous act you can have on TV is either a kiss or a hand.
Really? Because I thought it was a caressing handshake.
Well, you got it. Okay. Well, here.
Ooh.
Well, you got it. Well, you got. Oh, pardon me. Anyways, I mean, with Japanese style animation, it's obviously clear that these boundaries do not apply. So.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, you're allowed a few bad touch moments.
Yeah.
And the kissing leading to her being naked.
Yeah. That honestly, I don't
Naked,
get.
boys, naked.
Like I don't
Yeah.
like. I mean, I kind of don't get it, because it's like in Toka's next thing, where like afterwards she's just shown in a school uniform. I guess that's just because she was given it, because she also transformed into it in episode 3. So
Yeah.
I guess they just gave her one afterwards or whatever, since she's
Yeah.
now a
And I
transfer
assume
student at
money
the same
filled
place.
in the blanks.
Yeah.
Oh, and just tell you, everyone who have actually walked into episode 4 now. So yeah.
All right, whopping into episode 4. So we're moving on from episode 3 now.
Yoshino, the only character who I would actually like.
Yeah, she is adorable.
She
is.
She's
ni-
one-dimensional,
She's nice.
but she's adorable.
Yes. But I mean, hey, that's
She's
most of the
fat.
archetypes. That's all the archetypes in the series. So can you really blame
She's a
it?
trap.
Yep.
She's a trap, everybody.
Hey, don't you go talking about traps in this series.
She's a trap.
We will save that for when we get to Astolfo.
Oh, no.
Should Apocrypha
She's not a gender
confirm.
trap. She's an age trap.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Oh, okay,
You
yeah,
are
that's
right.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Well,
She's actually over 1,000 years old.
Okay, but
No
she
spoilers.
looks like touching her would mean that you get put on the sex register offender.
No spoilers.
I think I hear the police knocking at my door right now.
Hold
on,
on,
guys.
Brett, what did you say?
I'm not going to spoil anything, but they do a good job not sexualizing Yoshino right now.
Until
Yoshi-
There's a character later in the series that is
Yeah.
a
The-
that does get into the I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
Until it gets to episode 6, but we'll continue for episode 4, or not episode 6, but episode 5.
Well, yes, but as we are right now, she is pedo bait
Yes, she
at its finest.
Yes.
Yoshino to me though felt like more of a little sister character more than
There's plenty
an
of
actual
little sister characters in this series. All right, So,
So let's head into the middle ground right now.
Uh,
5 through
yeah.
8.
Wait, guys. Real quickly, can we confirm that Yoshino is not a viable option, but
Yeah.
Yoshinon is absolutely a viable
Yes.
Yes,
That
Oh,
is
yeah.
true.
I agree. I agree. I agree.
The little puppet.
Yoshinon is best hero. Yoshinon is best hero.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
So I guess what I did like about this little like arc between episode 4 and 5 is that Yoshino as a character got more character development in a few episodes alone more than Toka. Like
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
especially with the pace. Like 2 episodes and her arc's already done.
Yeah,
Considering
exactly.
she is supposed to be the main character. Almost like the main character.
Of this arc. Yeah. Anyways.
That does
Yeah.
get into a problem I have with the series overall, though, is
Is
after
that it
the
speeds
characters
up
are
in the middle?
introduced.
Yeah.
Well, no, after the characters are introduced, like they get some character development, their introduction arc. They're given like these fairly fleshed out characters, and then all of that is completely dropped as the series goes on, and they're back to their only like standard base appearance archetype for the entire series.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just
But
want to
to
make
be
sure.
fair, for what it is, I don't blame it for that.
Right.
For
You
what
know,
it
for
is,
what it
yeah,
is.
but
Yeah.
it make like I'm not. It's not in this season, so I'm not gonna say who it is or what happens. But there's a character who's really good in their introduction episode, but then in the future episodes, they're absolutely unbearable because the archetype is that bad.
I
Yeah.
think I remember you telling me about this like personally, but
Yeah, but we're not. I'm not gonna go into that unless
yeah,
we
because
get
we're just
season
doing
two,
season
And that's
much
more of an
to,
overarching thing. So we're not
Yeah.
discussing more than season 1 because the entirety of us did not watch more than season 1.
Yeah, but I think the criticism
Yeah.
applies to season 1 still with its characters.
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
It's just not as bad.
all right.
We're not gonna cover that yet, if at all. But if we do, it'll be much to Sekhmet's chagrin.
Okay, guys, let's get back on track.
All right,
And
now before all right.
finish
I mean,
our
I think we are, Vince.
all right, before
Okay, guys.
All right, before we
Sorry.
move on. All right, before we move on to episode 6, best episode by the way.
Oh,
Yes.
one of those people.
Naked Lolly.
Oh, yeah.
Going to
great.
jail.
FBI open up.
All right.
Okay, now we move on to the best episode, the only good episode in the entire series.
Yes.
The episode full of laughter.
All right. I don't.
When the filler is better than the canon, you know you have a problem.
Oh, yes.
That should not be a thing.
I have a problem with filler personally, and that's it's filler, and that's my
Yeah,
problem.
so
with
did
it.
every person who read and watched Bleach. Look what happened to the author there.
Oof.
Now he has to release new chapters into the online game because he's not allowed to publish it.
Yep.
Okay, guys.
All right.
But this episode, oh my god, I've never enjoyed a hot spring episode like I've enjoyed this one, because 90% of it is not at the hot spring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then at the end of it, they don't even go to the hot spring. They go to the anyways. They go to the dirt hole that Kanezuki dug up that just so happened to have a hot spring underneath it.
I really
Hey,
like
natural
Yes.
hot springs are genuinely great.
Yeah, I know
10
they
out
are.
of 10.
Yeah, I know they are, but still.
I will comment. I love that this episode brought back the plot point from the Toka episode where there's the fabricated carnival and used it to create an action scene.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Did anyone see like the end where it's like the turnip drops and it's like kaboom?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I did.
Oh,
I did.
This
yeah.
has so
I
much
will say-
carnival damage and no one
I will
really
say,
bats an eye.
this whole episode made my boom boom sense happy.
Yeah.
Yes, this was amazing.
It satisfied the inner pyro hiding deep inside.
They had to have destroyed half the city.
Yeah!
And also,
It's just so casual.
They did more damage than any of those space quakes did.
oh yeah. Okay. When they got to the hot spring and like also their enemies, technically the AST. I can't even say this
The
correctly right
AST
now.
and
for laughing.
Rara...
Yeah.
Rara something?
All their hardship, they all get frozen. And it's
Yeah.
like, That's the most funniest part. It's like
This is
all
the
that
episode
work
where you
for
realize
nothing.
you can't take the AST seriously at all. They're not going to be your villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just ridiculous.
Like,
Even though they are supposed
there's
to
only
be.
one AST that you can really start to take seriously, and that's not until the next episode anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So moving on to next
Let's
episode.
go.
This is the final
Speaking
section
of-
because we're getting real close to the end here.
No. Final start 8. This is 7.
Oh, okay. So we're still.
I know,
close
but
to
just in terms of general, we're over the middle and we're closer to the end than the beginning, which is great for me.
it. Yeah. All right. Now I've said it before, but I still love it. Kurumi goes ara ara ara.
Oh.
Ah-da-da-da-da-da-da!
Not ora.
I know.
Ara, ara.
I know.
Yeah, also in this episode 7, we find out that the little sister ain't the true little sister at all.
Yes.
I mean, no offense, but if
Yes.
she had been, this is where I would have genuinely stopped watching.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
Like, I would have actually not watched the next 5 episodes.
Yeah. So at the very
It's all good if you say no chroma, guys. Haven't you seen
No, that does not make it all good.
Okay, well,
So let's
let's
move
just
on.
start talking about
So let's move on.
introduction. So, yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie.
Kurumi.
So
The real little sister.
yeah. So yay, the real little sister. Turns out that why can't I remember her name? Kotori, just apparently was actually adopted into the family apparently, or was it Cheeto that was adopted into the
It was
family?
Shido that was adopted.
Ah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's. Yeah,
You don't
I
get
guess that makes
massive
sense. I guess
secret
that makes
shield
sense.
level organization funding
Yeah,
by being to the family.
true. But
True.
yeah, what else? Yeah, I just find it kind of funny that both Shido and I think her name, it was either Kana or Hana. Was it Hana or Kana?
Mana.
Mana. Okay.
Mana,
like
the magic.
Yeah.
Mana. Yeah. Okay,
System.
that makes
Mana.
sense. Yeah. But yeah. So I just find it kind of funny, mildly, that both of them are blue-haired. Like they have it naturally occurring in them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a thing though, is people see the same hair color and they must
And
be related.
Yeah, and apparently, they're all apparently unnatural hair colors are a thing in this universe. Maybe it was a change
Thankfully, they don't-
facial quake, but there's very few that seem to have this hair color, and it seems to be mostly tied to those are spirits. And dun dun
Thankfully,
dun,
any
this is
incest
getting
with
into a
complications
point
between
that
the
will
two.
come up in an episode not that far from
Okay.
here.
But also, just in terms of like not thinking of conspiracies, generally in anime, anyone special has special hair or eyes.
True, I guess.
That tends to be a fairly common reoccurring trope.
Yeah,
The background characters are always basic.
yeah.
Except for our very own special Kurumi, which we got introduced in this episode.
Yep.
I'll be real, actually.
Actually,
even
you
though I
can
don't
see
particularly like
Kurumi.
Well, Kurumi
You
has
can actually
has an eye. Her hair color is like natural, but her eye is like has.
Well, yes, but she actually shows up in the background of episode 4 or 5.
Oh, I never noticed that actually.
Yeah, she
I'd have to
does.
go back.
It's the one thing I'm good at noticing is the hidden Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I will
Like
say
the
that,
Yeti.
Nice.
oh god, for another time, or sorry,
Oh.
segment. Tripping on my names.
Like Matt.
You can now see how all horrible we all are.
Yep.
It'll get
Working it out.
better.
All right.
I will say, Kurumi, I didn't. Well, even though I don't particularly like her as a character, I'm on Team Origami. Her as a villain, I thought was kind of threatening, as threatened as I could be for this show.
She did kill people in this.
In this episode.
She killed people.
She did. She did. At like towards the end of it, she did. It was like when what was it? Just before she got found in the corner by Mana, she had killed 3 guys who essentially tried to do things to her.
Well,
Yeah.
hit and also unsit stuff that we probably shouldn't say.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say it. But anyway.
Thanks, YouTube.
Thanks, YouTube. All right.
Yes.
All right. And anyways.
Wait, let's get started on the end section, episode 8.
Yeah, episode 8. I suppose.
Oh God, the big multi-date episode.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose that at the very least, despite like it being like Shido being over the place, at the very least there was like some decent character development, at least on Kurumi's end, despite it being like a multifaceted date. And
there was some good laughs as well out of that episode. Not as much as episode 6, but yeah.
The Kurumi stuff was okay. I think like the multi-date and how it was handled though, I've seen it handled better before.
Yeah.
But
I think
just as a plot point.
Yeah, I think like the purpose of this multi-date was just to be, well,
mostly comedy.
They'll do it.
Yeah, mostly
well, that's
comedy.
what it usually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much at
Can
the end
we talk
episode.
about the travesty of the little kitten getting darted with a pellet gun?
Hey,
Yeah.
I want to
That's
point
where
out
we're
that
going in.
Kurumi at least saved that little kitten.
Exactly.
So
That
hey,
kitten deserved better.
So hey, you can give Kurumi some points for that, despite her being the villain.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We did actually end up seeing the last person get killed, but yeah, that you know what?
No, just kidding.
Also, really, Sekhmet.
I'm just going to cut that out. I'll cut that out as well.
Just in case people are wondering why there might be a bunch of quick censor beats and things that don't sound like cuss words, we're saying each other's real names on accident. We shouldn't be.
Let's come on, episode 9. We pretty much done what episode 8, have we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're finished with episode 8. So on to episode 9.
Is episode 9 the one where they have that massive fight on the rooftop?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
And this basically, I'm just gonna also kind of lump episode 10 into this because they kind of pick up with each other and they're essentially inseparable.
Yeah.
Episode 9 is mostly just a big action thing.
Yeah, and episode 9 is a good action.
Yeah.
I mean, it at least had like some good like fight stuff. I liked seeing all of Kurumi's like abilities, her ability to.
You did also see a little plot.
Yeah, a little bit, and then also apparently there are. I guess because I've seen like little like tiny clips from other seasons of Date Alive where they're essentially, because Kurumi summons what are essentially clones of herself. These clones also have their own individual personality, though they are very similar in personality to the main one of her, I guess.
Well, here's the thing. They're not actually clones. They're just past selves of her.
Yeah, past selves of her, where they're basically just from different timelines.
Yeah, and they do actually use that in later seasons. They do actually use that, and we do get to learn more.
Yeah, and the one that she killed at the where basically the one Kurumi was going to fall for Shido, and Shido was going to take her power. She ended up killing that one because apparently it was too young, according to Kurumi. So there's obviously some versions of Kurumi that would have wanted to have been saved from the power or whatever. Mm-hmm. But that's a different plot point, and her character development is more in later seasons. So
I will say this episode was a little bit more palatable to me in a way, 9 and 10.
Because it focused more on the action and less on the harem dating aspect of the show.
You can kind
which I was a fan of.
Forget about the harem dating and think of it just as the power of friendship kind of stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit more powerful than
but also, genuinely, I did actually like the little bit more like background.
Yeah,
because I needed it.
Yeah, that is one thing that the series kind of isn't very good at is like going fully into the background of some of these characters. But in fairness, not a lot of them have background since.
Yeah.
At least the 2 spirits that they've rescued by this point do not know like where they came from. Like Toko just straight out stated like she does not know where she came from.
Yeah.
I mean, the series goes literally into Origami's background at one point.
At one point, yes, but that was for like the brief intro of what was it? I think episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
So...
And we will get more background at season 3, which is
You will. I
yeah.
ain't watching that far.
Hey, we may end up suggesting this again.
Swear to Lord,
Yeah.
you put this back in the hat and I will deck you.
All right, I'd like to see you try.
Oh, we gonna
Okay.
go, boy.
Oh,
But
yeah,
this is
can
where
go.
we find out, surprise, surprise, KOTORI is a spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like we didn't already know.
Like we didn't already expect something like this to happen.
Yeah.
But
If it
yeah.
killed Origami's parents. Oh my god, the edge.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, the
The
edge. Oh, the
Yeah.
edge. All right.
The crippling depression.
And that's probably why Origami is a kudere. Or kudere.
My tragic backstory.
And it's why she's so wooden. Why she doesn't have a personality.
Oof.
Okay, here's the thing. She has the personality of a old man, and that's
Old
how
men
you say
are
it. You
much
do not
more
say
personable than her. She has the personality of a girl on Tinder that responds to every question with lols, yeah.
Some
I
serious
think we
shade from
can
Sekhmet
keep
here.
it.
All right. Well,
Follow my casino.
moving on to the final 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So that is episode 11 is called Countdown. So yeah, and that's where we get our water park scene. Yeah.
Oh no, the
There's
little sister character is
gratuitous
going
water
to
park.
explode.
Is that I forget? Does this actually have more character development, or is this actually just another filler?
Okay, well,
There
they
is
disguise it as
slight.
character development, but it's really an excuse to be a filler episode. with a
Yeah.
water park that can
All right,
really
glad I
climax.
skipped this episode then.
It's a fan service and filler, pretty much, with very, very little in terms of like plot development at all.
All right, good. Glad I could save myself a beach episode.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
all you miss is
also,
I'm gonna go back and
Origami's
watch
lie,
it later.
guys, in this episode, Origami's lie that a swimsuit will kill the spirits, 10 out of 10.
Yes. Like the laughs were. Like, there was at
Genuinely,
least
that was
some laughs,
amazing.
but not that many.
Yeah.
All right.
You are
I mean-
actually seeing a little bit about KOTORI, though, in this episode that
Yeah.
if you haven't seen, that's pretty much like the only plot development in this, pretty much.
This episode's got a lot of padding.
Lots of
Yeah.
lots of fluff.
But
Yep.
then it leads to Origami trying to kill KOTORI and introduce the final episode.
Yeah.
Things you can't give up. That's the actual name of
Ooh.
the episode.
Yeah.
Yay. More like Sekhmet's ready to give up on this series.
Okay.
Well,
no.
this last episode kind of sucked.
Despite all the shade I've been throwing, I do understand how this appeals to a certain demographic of people.
But
It's
you're
just
not the
I'm
target
not that.
demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just never gonna appeal to me in any other way than it was in the hat, and I had to watch it. But
We're gonna
no
get a lot
shade
of
to
that,
the
believe me.
actual creators of the stuff.
Because for you new viewers out there, in case you're wondering how we decide our series, we each randomly submit series that we either have to or either want to watch or haven't watched, and then we
We
draw
want
from
to
a
force
hat.
each other to watch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the meme series, and there will be a lot of
Yeah.
these on this channel.
So it's really
Oh, yeah.
random, and the controlling nature in me is always hoping it's going to be mine that we draw, and it wasn't mine.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so
So moving on.
can
Oh,
I
yes.
quickly sum up this climax?
Yes, you may.
Go.
I have an edgy backstory. You do? Let's be friends. Let's not kill each other. No, we shouldn't. I accidentally nearly killed you. No. The edge.
Oh, the
Yeah.
edge! Oh, the edge! Oh, the edge!
It was a bit of a cluster truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last
You know?
episode really didn't do well for the series.
Well,
It
I-
seemed like they were trying to put too much all in at once, like too many people, too many things going
I think it's
on.
because they weren't guaranteed whether or not they were going to get a second
Another season.
Yeah, another season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why it was so rushed. But
I'm sure if we went back to the light novel, we could
and yet, what I
see
find
that.
funny is that in an earlier episode, they show the sequel of My Little Shido 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, there's a
Okay.
sequel.
Real
yes.
Now we're at the end and we have a little bit of time to tangent. I will quickly say I do appreciate that whenever they need him to come up with like an option, like to figure out what he's gonna say, they contact everybody who's playing that
Yeah.
dating
little
sim
game.
and ask them what they should do.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's like a great point for like
Because
just the series.
obviously a bunch of preteens playing a dating sim know what you should say to women.
Exactly.
I
Oh,
also
yes.
love that the masochist character, the character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kanezuki, the blonde-haired dude.
Yeah, he's glorious because he's always like,
I
how
just
much he doesn't
I
miss
just
anything,
love
he's always
hearing.
getting in the way of this.
I love hearing Dio just like.
Because you see
Realm.
Dio, but like for
Yeah.
those of us who don't see Dio, that's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
For those of us
Yeah.
that don't see Dio, we see an incredibly weird guy, but hey, I will say, after having watched the entire series, he is downright the best character, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He's the most
Whenever he's
funniest
on
character
screen,
to
he's at
me.
least funny.
Yeah. He had the best, most memorable moments in like the entire
yeah.
series that weren't directly tied to character development. Oh.
Alright.
Well,
With this little tiny bit of time, Vincent, or sorry,
we got
Vaughn,
about like another 7 minutes or so. Do you want to talk
Yeah.
a little bit about the OVA?
Okay.
How about we just do some like closing thoughts, like each individually? Because
it
I
should
didn't
be
see
quick.
the
We don't-
OVA.
No,
All right, let's just move to the end. All right, we'll just
Let's just move to the end.
Let's just move to the end. We'll just go to the closing
All right.
point. I'm just gonna edit all
second,
that out.
you want to draw from the hat?
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
we'll
um,
draw from the hat for whatever's we're gonna watch next in the next 2 weeks.
All
We
right.
currently have 19 names in the hat, and after we draw today, we'll be adding some new ones.
Yep.
Actually,
So,
real
Yes,
quickly, what would you guys
yes.
rate this series out of 10
Oh my.
before we announce what the next one is?
oh, okay. I rate it 1 coffee cup out of 5.
All right.
Okay.
Not hot
Lacking, lacking in warmth and flavor.
Oof.
Go ahead. Next, who's going?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I give it a solid 5 out of 10. Not enough kurumi ara.
I rate this average as well. It gave me a couple chuckles, but in the end, nothing really good came out of it for me. Besides the chuckles, so yeah.
All right, Nick, it's your turn.
I give it a cardboard box surrounded by watermelons out of 10.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Sounds great to me.
All right, so you sound excited, segment. What's the next thing? I assume it's the one you really wanted.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not the one I wanted the most out of the list. For viewers, I'm the only one who gets to see the entire list. But next week's episode will be episode 1 through 12 of Katekyo Hitman Reborn.
All right.
Oh,
dang it.
okay.
I liked what I watched of this series. Only the first few
Hey.
episodes, but I'm
Hey,
looking
Brett.
forward to it.
It can't be as bad as Date Alive.
I mean, it could be worse. Although it's not.
It's out there. There is worse out there.
I
I
still
mean,
know
that's-
Fantastic no Kanajo is in the hat, so...
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay.
all right, we're gonna end this episode off. Thank you guys for tuning in. You may like, subscribe, and share this video if you've enjoyed it. Please give us your thoughts on anything we can do to improve the series. And
Tell
we
us
will
how
see.
awful we are down below, and we'll read all the comments, I swear.
I know. All right. Well, maybe
Let's
maybe
read-
maybe,
I
maybe
will
we'll
read all
read
the
maybe we'll
comments.
read some of your comments in the next video if any of you do comment on here. All right.
We'll read the meanest comment that the YouTube algorithm will allow us in the next video. If we
I will read them all and cry to myself at night.
Yeah. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode.